Alright, so next thing we'll be doing is an oil change on our Mule 550. So for our filter we'll have a Wix 51394, nothing fancy about that. We also have 2 quarts of Amsoil synthetic ATV UTV oil, 10W40. And that'll be it for our parts. For tools, we'll need a 14mm wrench to take the drain plug off and to take the cover plate off for the oil filter. So you're going to have a long box end wrench for that. We'll need a Philips-head screwdriver for taking the cover plate off as well, a filter wrench, and a funnel, and as well as a appropriately sized drain pan for the oil. So to get to the components necessary to change the oil, first we'll take the seat and flip it forward. That way it gives us access to the panel that's covering the oil filter. We'll also need to raise the tailgate, so we'll have a latch right down here. Lift that up, we'll lift it. Then we'll have a safety bar right here that we'll want to put down, and we'll loop it right over the rear cross member. There we go, and we're good to go. So the next task is going to be removing the access panel from over the oil filter. Now removing this panel is really dependent on what tool you're using to remove the oil filter. When we initially started this job, we were planning on using a pair of filter pliers, which necessitate the removal of this panel. However, as you will see later, we ended up using a filter socket and a ratchet, which for that tool you do not need to remove this panel. So to remove this panel, as you saw, it is a single screw with a Phillips head and then 2 14mm bolts. So you can see here we're using our box end wrench to remove those bolts. Can't really get a socket and a ratchet on here. The angle of the roll bar prevents that. So we're going to remove the last of those bolts right now, and then as you will see, we will take the cover plate and rotate it over and pull it out, then put it on out of our way. In this case I put it on the step, and then as you see, reaching through, you can now get to the oil filter. So the next step will be to actually drain the old engine oil. The drain plug is a 14mm bolt located on the lower right hand side of the engine, right behind the converter case. So you'll loosen it and take it out. Make sure your drain pan's underneath and drain all the old engine. Make sure to loosen the fill cap as well to help with draining. Next, you're going to remove the old oil filter. As you can see, we ended up having to use a ratchet and socket to remove it. So you're just going to want to loosen it. And then you can use your hand to remove it the rest of the way. Then you're just going to place it into the oil pan. When you're placing the oil pan, make sure you accommodate the fact that the oil will hit the lower cross member when it comes out of the filter. After that, put the filter in the pan, and then you're going to want to clean off the area around the filter mount with the rag. Just make sure the O-ring came off and that there's no residual oil. Next, you're going to want to install the new oil filter. First, you're going to make sure there is a coat of clean new oil on the O-ring. Then you're going to take the filter and spin it up. Make sure to only put it hand tight. These spin-on filters, you don't really want to use a tool to put them on. Finally, we're going to add the new oil. Now I usually like to fill it up between full and add on the dipstick. That allows room for a little bit of expansion. So the Mule 550 takes 1.5 quarts of oil. Then once you're done filling, you'll run the engine for a few seconds, fill up the filter, and then recheck.